Praise be to the name of the Lord. Welcome yet again to part 2 of Blended Families. You are tuned into Go Love TV, and as always, I'm not alone. I go with the queen of vibes, the vivacious, the gorgeous, Juaristo.
I greet you all in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ. To me, sang Popela Kenna, Juaristo Kenna, and I'm sitting with the rich uncle here, and I hope you enjoy this day. We are still on Blended Families, sitting with the Tusinis. We are at Tusiniville, right here at Go Love TV.
Yes, thank you, Juaristo. Greet our viewers again. We're on part number 2. Then we'll do a quick recap. We're talking blended families. You can greet.
Hi guys, we are back for part 2. We hope you continue enjoying our content.
Amen. Bingelela baba.
Sanibingelela. Babukele emakhaya. Ajwayeleki, but yeah, thank you for watching. Continue to subscribe. Also we are also followers of God's Love. We love the content. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
And just a continuation from where we left off. We were talking about we are talking about blended families actually, and then the last segment that we spoke about, when is the right time to introduce your kids to your partner, well, to themselves. And then, you highlighted your approach and you gave recommendations, and we would like to actually continue building from there. Yeah? To say, how is the relationship, how healthy is your relationship with your exes? Because they are living beings that are, in the blended family. It becomes blended because they are people. We come from somewhere.
Yeah.
How is that relationship?
The relationship on one side or both sides?
I think each of you can actually,
do
after
their
all you're
side.
blended, it's supposed to be... Let it blend.
Let it blend.
Blend it together.
But to see, if you were to look at it, right?
Yeah.
If we were to put a diagram to this thing, you had your partner.
Yeah.
You made 2 beautiful human beings, right?
Yes.
And in your case, you had one partner, you made one. You had, and then with another, you made one.
Yes.
And that same partner moved on to make with whoever. That is still linked to your life.
Yeah.
And you moved on. You met this incredible woman that comes with someone
From somewhere.
from that. I know it's mind-boggling.
You have no idea.
That's why, family, we try to talk about these things, because there's no pulpit that will teach about these things. So do you see that connection, that chain?
Yeah.
Talk to us about how healthy
Relationship,
is that relationship.
By God's grace, the relationships are very great.
Okay.
Yeah, starting from my side, the first baby mama, I think you have her number. They discuss if umntwana istatulo siphelile, and we are going to cover that, but he's coming that side. Don't focus on the shoes, maybe focus on something else, but they can do it, so that means it's very healthy. To a point that, and it's not only limited to her talking to umama we firstborn yami without me being involved. I'm still involved as well, and we still update each other. To listen, ngithe kuye uthini kuwe, because ekugcineni we need to form a united front. We cannot make them think just because she's got access to her, then it means she can just deal with her however. I'm still monitoring that from a distance. And for that to be clear, that's where after all the conversations, you expect her to bring feedback and you expect the other party to bring feedback and you analyze and you see where you can fix. I guess that's what keeps it healthy, where it's open and transparent. And then with the second child, lo ohlala kumawakhe, there it's still healthy, but the issue maybe can be in terms of, how can I put it? Let's say we want to go and fetch the child, and it was agreed, and they decide not to release the child. There you will find that there's a problem now, because we're not dealing with the mother, we're dealing with the granny. Now, I can't fight the granny because I've got no relationship with the granny. But this is my child. But however, I must respect my child's granny and hope as she grows, it will be better. But on that side, I wouldn't say we are communicating good, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I guess the only problem is where they don't meet us halfway. But from our side to them, myself and my wife, I feel we are open. We don't have a problem. Yeah, and then vice versa, ubaba wabantwana bakhe okubantwana bami manje. I don't have a problem with him. I don't see him as a problem. However, I don't see a need of communicating with him. I let my wife do the talking, and I support her there and there. But I think she's handling it well. I don't have any doubts.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Ubaptisini has covered it. He blended it so well.
It's so well.
Because I was about to touch on co-parenting challenges, which he has somehow maybe enlightened us on it. What are the challenges on your end with communication to probably the one that's cooperating with you? What are the challenges that you are facing? Maybe with the baby mama, if I should. I don't want to say baby mama, but I have to what are the challenges that you are facing in co-parenting with the cooperating baby mama?
There aren't any challenges. There aren't any challenges. She was not negative in her approach. I think she appreciates that I'm raising her child. Because her child lives with me. So we're not friends, but when it comes to the child, there has to be healthy communication, effective communication, clear communication, so that there is direction. So I don't have baby mama drama, guys. And that is the one thing I was scared about, but I don't have baby mama drama. And I would like to thank my husband for that, because he set boundaries. And made me secure, because remember, I was insecure when we met due to my experiences. So him securing me, setting healthy boundaries, and being transparent as well, allowing me access, because why because but he doesn't have that. So I don't have any challenges with the first baby mama. She's a very nice woman. She's a very nice lady, and I like her for giving me a firstborn. Wow. Like, yeah, I've got an older boy whom I can just say, Tandwa, Izija, and he jumps. Yeah. He doesn't question anything. Yeah. And he's a little bit older, so we have like this vibe that's going on, you know, so I'm grateful for that. I don't have challenges with her. I did have a challenge with the second one. Maybe she think I stole her man. I don't know. Wow. But yeah, Shem, she was not very, her approach was, she does give us the child when we want. She's reasonable. but she can get a little bit cocky, and I understand why. So we just at a point where we say, because the child is with the grandmother, sihlonipha abantu abadala, so we don't want back and forth. Just now we call cases that are far from us, and I don't really get involved. Hey, mina ekhaya ngikhuliswe kahle. I'm not gonna get there and be like, no, bring my man's child. No, I'm not gonna do that. So she did try and come incorrect, but we gently put her in a place. Actually, my husband put her in a place for my protection. So those are the only challenges that I have on that other side. I don't know if Papa doesn't have challenges also on the other side, on my side, because I'm very transparent as well. I report everything to my husband. Everything, even a joke. That is not funny. I report because I'm telling you, transparency is the key to making a blended family work, because third parties are there, they are not going anywhere, and they can easily become a very big threat to the marriage if they are not well managed.
I'm interested to ask Mr. Tusini, from a male's perspective, to say, you know, looking at tradition, looking to say, you literally taking care of another man's children, right?
Yeah.
Those are the lenses that one should. And how is that in terms of your extended family and using even the lens Zulu?
Football is about two.
Yeah, and you're raising a boy that has got a different blood running in their veins, and you're instilling the Zulu culture on a pedi. How is that? I just find it so fascinating to say, if we were to be real about it, real talk, real men talk. How is that?
I'm glad you asked this question. Yeah, because as Mama Shilo, there's a stigma around divorce. There's also a stigma around a man who is raising kids that are known not to be his biological kids. You get attacked for no reason. You get hated by your own blood, your own family. You start looking like a fool to everyone. You become a Joseph. Uthwele jazz. Umama kaJesu, baba kaJesu. Maria mbambisa penalty. It becomes, there's a lot of talks. And traditionally so, and they can even insist this is wrong. No, something needs to be done. You know, but as I said earlier, it depends ukuthi ubuyaphi. Khuliswe kanjani. As I've explained, what makes it easy, I see it very easy for me. Loving ukhao no khali. I even forget sometimes ukuthi they are not my children. As umama asho ukuthi they bayafana abantwana bethu. All of them, as soon as they are in the Tusiniville house, they just look the same. You know, and when you want someone to bring you a glass of water, you just shout whatever name that comes first. And sometimes it's odd where I've been sending ukhao more than Ustandwa. And I'm like, what's happening with you? It's like you're blending with this other child more than Ustandwa. Because lento leyo ayisekho endlini, and iqedwa yini? Iqedwa ukuthi, as I mentioned, ungakhohlwa ukuthi ubuyaphi. Mina ngakhuliswa ama stepfather. I is stepfather. So okusho ukuthi I know the love of a stepfather, and I know the hate of a stepfather. Ngisakhumbula namanje impama ye stepfather engake ngayithola somewhere la. Angibangisa ukuthi I can't blow. Yabona umlilo wasemakhaya. Mama ngabe ungathi awuvuthi bathi kumele uphuphuthe. So mawuphuphutha uba nentuthu eningi. I think I was around the ages of 11, 9, around there. As you blow the, abona ukuthi ngibanga intuthu. Uyangithethisa uzongiblowela yena wona. His stepfather leso. Maka ublow yena uyavutha. So uyangishaya ukuthi mina ngihlule ukublowa. But ngimncane kunaye, you know. That's the hard love because he was teaching me a principle. As much as I hated him at the time, but I don't remember ngihlula umlilo after that.
Yeah.
So ngine experience yokukhuliswa abo baba engasibo abo baba bami. Laba ebengicabanga ukuthi abangithandi, I'm grateful to them today because azange bangibulale.
Yeah.
And then laba ebengifila ngathi bayangithanda, I think they are the one that have invested into the man that I am today in terms of my love for these kids. That you would call blended, that you would call abasibalana, whatever that you want to say. And I think you grow fond with them to a point where you don't want people telling you, even their own father, they must be careful around those words. They must never come and tell me that these are not my kids. Yeah, it can get very ugly because you love these kids. And your plan is to nurture them even better than how you were nurtured. As I explained, I respect my mom, I love my mom, but I feel she was dealt with a very bad set of cards. And on top of that, she did well, you know. As Nisho, I've got good experience in terms of stepfathers, good ones and bad ones. So I can't be the bad one.
Sure. So,
I can't be the bad one.
Mr. Tusini, with your experience, I just want to find out, like, do you find yourself raising these children, trying to protect them from what you went through? Because sometimes I feel like re godisha bana ba rena from like protecting them from what we went through. If my parents didn't have tough conversations with me, I find myself doing that because I do it from a place of lacking something. With the experiences that you had with your stepfathers, because you have had that experience, do you find yourself bending gakulu on that ubakulisa with your experiences that we have more, protecting them from what you went through?
Yes, no. Yeah, why I'm saying yes, no, is I believe I've got a hand of God in my life. I guess that's where the part that says, as much as I'm experienced, I don't feel like how I'm raising them is solemnly reliant on where I come from. There's God's wisdom that I see flourishing on how I handle issues on daily basis. So I'm very careful not to say because mina bebang shaya, bona mele banga shayo. Because even in the Bible, liyasho ukuthi umntwana ukhuliswa induku. So there are instances where if you love your child, you must discipline them, irregardless of how you feel about the discipline. Because how I feel about discipline is don't touch them. Ungamshayi umntwana. Thina sasishayelwa nento engekho. Ushayela ukuthi inkomo uyitholanga. Naye aphuma buya ngayitholanga kodwa naye ekho umuntu omshayayo. You know? Yeah, you understand? Yeah, but I feel you can't rob them proper parenting based on where you come from. So that's why I see an element of wisdom direct from God that says deal with each case as it appears. And as you deal with it, apply your current situation and compare it with how things are done. Don't just say umntwana ukhuliswa kanje without considering ukuthi akusise emakhaya la. We are now living a suburban life, you know. Yeah, I guess that's that.
Sure. No, thank you for that. And talking about, children, it's so fascinating. Right? So your parenting style, right? I'm interested to know, and for our viewers as well, maybe let's start here to say, how do you ensure that your kids are heard, valued, and loved within your household? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. I engage a lot of young people, and children. They feel out of place. They don't feel heard. They feel like they don't exist. Like parents or older people don't get it. So how do you create that nest for them?
All right. I want to pick up from, you mentioned parenting styles.
Yes.
I want to pick up from what he said in terms of discipline. I wanna take a little journey, ne?
Yeah.
So when we started, it was tough.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of disagreements. He does not like saying the word fight. He says we don't fight.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of disagreements because our parenting style was kind of different. He believes in communicating.
Yeah.
I believe in the rod,
Yeah.
because that's how I was raised, right? We're both raised with the rod, but I think with him, he was on some, I don't want to subject my child to that. I rather talk to them so that it's healthy. Because honestly, to be honest, the reason why sometimes I even kuza myself and say, why am I being toxic? Is because I'm so used to being beaten that I just beat. Do you understand? So that's the difference. Ne? And there was a time where he was in Rustenburg. I was left Nostandwa. And he's very protective over his children. Extremely, to a point that when Standwa was messing up, I didn't even know whether to tell him or not, because whenever I told him, I could see that the environment is changing, the mood, he akafuna ukuyizwa lento lena, But we came to a consensus. The more we communicated, I remember there was a day where we slept at, was it 4 a.m. in the morning? It was heated. I felt like this marriage is going to end. This one. We got married December, February, we were fighting. 4 a.m. in the morning, we are discussing kids. And I remember when there was a time where I shared with my mother, and my mom said, never ever allow children to be the reason why you guys separate. They are not the ones that brought you together. Obviously, I didn't share everything with her, but I gave her a glimpse, And we talked about it. I liked that we spent the whole night because there were things that needed to be addressed and made clear. And I'm coming to this thing of how do you make sure your children are heard and they're not left out? It was through communication. He knows how I feel. I know how he feels. And I like the word that he used. We form a united front when it comes to discipline, right? There are times where I want to beat and he says no. Rather use this way of punishing. And recently, just 2 weeks back, we had another disagreement because he says I shout a lot. Sometimes I put myself in those children's shoes because you're just, do you understand? Can't you talk nicely? And I felt offended. But I realized, no, my husband is actually helping me because labantwana bayayenza lento bayenzayo kodwa mase uqala manje uthi uyabashouta iba ngathi uwe ihlanye. So he was actually helping me. So uncomfortable conversations, communicating what is critical, what is needed, how to prioritize the kids, how we feel about our children separately and as a unit is what helps our children never ever feel left out. So we do communicate. Sometimes labantwana laba baby manje siyabashaya. And and I'm like, we're doing that thing that we like. I like that, And then there are days where he's just like, guys, why are you doing this? I'm the beater, he's not soft. Actually, he's not soft. But he prefers to have a for lack of a better word, a more civilized way of dealing with the children. And and when we do things, we do them across the board. No child gets special treatment. We do them across the board. If we say we are buying sneakers, for example, everyone is getting sneakers. Because we don't want a situation at the end of the day, especially because we've got two boys who are very woke. We don't want that thing, oh, this one is loved more than me. Do you understand? So when in visits, December visits, sometimes we send them all away. You know, though we stay with the blender, and the blender's not going anywhere. But we try by all means to give fair treatment to all of them. I told him that Ukhali has daddy issues. My little daughter. She's got daddy issues. I made my husband is very traditional, and he's not mushi angela mona. He's not you know. But the minute I told him, because Mona Khali wants to be held, and not by me, by a man. Do you understand? She wants to be held. She wants to be, and my husband does not have that side. But I'm making a practical example. The minute I told him, you need to understand Khali, because Khali only daddy issues. When her father left, she was 7 months. Do you understand? So she needs that figure. He slowly got into the gist of making Khali feel comfortable and embraced. He bakes with her. He dances with her. He hugs her. Do you understand? And that melts my heart. He hears me in order for Khali to be heard. Do you understand? Even the boys, you know, like there are days where he's like, no, you need to be tough now. Because Khawu's a soft boy compared to Stando. Stando's a soldier. And Khawu's the, you understand? But he's now teaching him to be tough. And not in the bad way. He gives him responsibilities. He makes him feel included. Whenever he's doing, because he does DIY a lot in the house. Whenever he's doing DIYs, bring bolts, bring nails, bring that, gets him involved, you know, and he knows what that does to me. I don't want my children now feeling like, they are not part of the Tusinis because they are machubengs, you know. When he prays for them, he says, Khaurelo to sin. Khalalelo to sin. And that makes me feel, or you know what, my kids are in the right home.
Go Love TV. I am telling you, we're talking blended families. Truth after truth. It's like they drank truth serum. They are giving us heavy stuff here. And if you were thinking, is this thing even real? Well, it is real. You are still tuned in to Go Love TV. Go grab yourself some water. Digest this hard truth. See you right back.
Welcome back to Go Love TV. You are still sitting with the Reristos.
Hello.
And we are chilling with the Tusinis in the house, and they were talking how they can distribute equal love, equal values, and same discipline with the children. But my question to both of you, maybe one of you can take it. Don't you ever feel guilty when disciplining children? Maybe you feel like, hey, I disciplined his children too much. Now let me rest a little bit. Don't you ever get that guilt? And if you did, how did you overcome it? So it was probably maybe in the 4 a.m. chat, but how did you fix it? How did you fix and recover from the guilt of disciplining, feeling like you're disciplining the other child more than the other?
I think we should have our own separate answer on this one. I've never felt guilty.
Yes.
I had not beaten Ustandwa, because I'm living with Standwa. I had not beaten him on so many occasions.
Yeah.
And that frustrated me.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I'm letting him go away with so much. Remember now, Ustandwa was from an environment where his father did everything to protect him. So he was like, remember he said, this is my comfort child. Yeah. So he was a tad little bit spoiled. And moving in with me, a disciplinarian, to fix that was a little bit hard. So I felt that if I don't beat this child, it would mean I don't love him. Because I'm scared of losing his dad or whatever. I felt that my way of showing that I accept him as my child is when I discipline him the same way I discipline my children. And there was a day where I had enough. He was crying, ne?
Yeah.
He cried, but I didn't feel, because when I beat Ukhao, I don't feel guilty. When I beat Ukhali, I don't feel guilty. I didn't feel guilty. I was like, in my head, I didn't tell him that. In my head, I said, one day you're gonna thank me. You're gonna thank me, you know? I beat him, and after I beat him, I sent Ubaba the message, ukuthi ngimshayile uSthando. He was like, oh. It was before the 3 a.m. chat.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've never felt guilty. I still don't feel guilty. I treat him like he's my own. And I feel, if I start becoming guilty, maybe it would be because of how I made him feel. Because even after the beating, because he's a little bit older, I did sit him on the couch and we spoke. I said, do you understand why I had to use the belt? And he said, yes, Mama. And I said, it might have been painful, but it is because I love you. I don't beat you because ngifuna ukukupunisha, ngifuna ukuzwisa ubuhlungu or angikuthandi. In fact, it's reverse. Ngikushaya ngoba ngiyakuthanda. And from then, he really understands me, hey? Like, he gets it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, he knows the look. Do you understand? So I don't feel guilty. I treat him the same way I'm treating my kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Message to Sydney, do you want to?
Yeah, mine is short.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, because as she said, I don't believe in the Lord that much. However, the guilt comes from not enjoying the fact that it ended up like that. I would have hoped it was handled,
Yeah.
and we agreed,
Yeah.
and we were all happy
Yeah.
before I even raised my hand. Now that I've raised my hand, regardless of Standwacha, Ucha, the guilt is not just because I saw one or one.
Yeah.
The guilt is based on I just did what I don't like.
Oh.
Yeah, then I will tell them, don't make me do this again.
Yeah.
Don't make me do this again. Okay, yeah. Yes, don't make me do this again because you are making me do what I don't like.
Yeah.
So now, as she mentions the look, they already know what I like, what I don't like.
Yeah.
And when I tell you to do something, if you don't do it, you're pushing me to do what I don't like. So the guilt comes from you changing me.
Yeah.
It's like I'll upgrade it to umama. I don't believe ukuthi indoda ishaya umfazi.
Yeah.
The day angipusha ukuthi ngize ngicabanga ukumshaya, I must have a talk with her. You are turning me into someone I don't know. Because I'm having thoughts ukuthi if I can't talk to you, it means we will end up using hands and it must never get there. So I think the guilt part for me, it's about doing what you don't like. Not because you're worried about the other party, because that will mean there's a problem between the two of you. The family has not yet blended. As Asho, she understood that Lou has glued. So, yeah.
Sure. Without over laboring at this point, but I feel it is important, right? When you meet an adult that is troubled right now, or that's just experiencing any kind of challenges and problems, when you ask them what's wrong, they always base it back to their childhood. To say, stepmother from hell did this to me. My father left me. I can't embrace someone. I've got abandonment issues. My dad left wherever in the homelands to go to Joburg and never came back. Therefore, I can't be in a relationship. I'm not trusting. You know those type of challenges.
Yeah.
They reference. They circle back to childhood traumas. So looking at the fact that you guys are in a blended, family, raising kids with their own personalities, own, wiring. Or maybe we can even take it to our view. What do you say to such a parent who's parenting, who's in the same situation?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, for me, I would say to the parent, stop being selfish. Yeah, it's not about you. It's not about you. You can't go around bleeding on people.
Sure.
You can't go around blaming on graves. You can't go around, like for as long as you've got 24 hours in a day, you've got yourself to blame.
Sure.
Yeah, it's wrong to even look back and say, umama, utata, makhelwane. I'm sorry, but that's a statement of failures. And for as long as you don't want to admit, you'll continue to fail. And what we hate about that is you are then bullying other people instead of bullying your own self. Yeah, because, what you are saying is true, where people use past experiences to justify why they cannot do what is right. And the truth is, there's nothing stopping you from changing the way things are done. And it gets worse when you are now forcing other people to be in the same space as you. Muruti, few weeks back when he was preaching on overcoming storms, he mentioned that there are 3 storms that we go through in life, and every believer will go through these storms. He said there was a storm of Jonah, there was a storm of Jesus, there was a storm of Apostle Paul. These storms are different. The storm that we are talking about here is a storm of Jonah. People are Jonah. Where they are, everyone must suffer. Just because you are in the same boat with them, you will suffer. Why? Why do that? Jonah, you know your assignment. Jonah, we know where you come from, you might have accepted, now you've changed your mind. But we are suffering, all of us now, in this storm. You understand? So I pick up that it's people who wants to be shame. You understand? So people must just stop with the pity party story and just do what is right.
Sure. So much wisdom. We cannot suffer because of Ujona.
Jonah.
You know what I'm interested to know is that you did not mention Ubu poisoners. You said you guys have healthy co-parenting with. I don't know if maybe there is an advice that you can give to viewers at home or a mom that is not managing this co-parenting life. Don't you guys find yourself nisebenzela emuva because you've got values that you are instilling in your children? Then they go back to the other parents. They go visit. And Kaliseli Pansi, every time that happens, how do you deal with that? Because now kwathusini sithe.
Sure.
Then umuntu uya kumamakhe, omunye uya kubabakhe, then they come back. Like, how do you help somebody at home? Because that is probably umsebenzi wa every day. Don't you even neglect umshado wenu to actually now cater for this, the
Learning and
back
relearning
end.
process,
Yeah. Every day sifaki isikolo.
Yo,
You're on point.
can I take it, Daddy? You just threw a spanner in the wheel there, you know. Unfortunately, that is the reality of a blended family. It is something that cannot be avoided. It is there, it exists, and it's what we have to deal with. It happens every week, well, every 2 weeks. The kids are fine. They are on par. And when they return, they are something else.
Sure.
So, no, we don't have to neglect our marriage, because if it's not okay here, it will not be okay anywhere else. We have made a decision to be a team in everything that we do. I'm not lying, guys. I know this is probably what every couple says on a podcast, like, oh my gosh, she's my best friend. You know, marry your friend. I'm married to my friend. We go everywhere together. We do everything together. So when we have a situation every 2 weeks where kids are coming back in a way we don't understand, we give them time to reset,
Okay.
because we trust our parenting. We give them time to reset. Like, we will not even entertain what they are doing. It's how we're dealing with it. We're not even going to entertain. They reset by themselves.
Okay.
So it's less work for us. We will continue. What we do is continue from where we left off. So we know what we taught them.
Yeah.
If it looks like they forgot, we remind them.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of effort. Because they are now at an age where they understand.
Yeah.
And then
The routine.
they understand the routine. They understand what needs to be done. We have a Standwa who still models what we teach. So it's not too much of work for us. So nothing of that nature or that energy affects us that much. No, not even that much. It doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
They come into the house. We will say maybe one word. Maybe Papa will say something, or I will say something. One word, Nje, that reminds them, Uguti, you are now at Tusiniville. Yeah, so come correct.
Come correct.
You know, we don't do a lot. We allow them to reset. We just watch. You know, some of the things we just look at them and then they do like, can you see what I'm seeing? Oh, bakalile manje. You know? And we just let them be. And you'll see they reset by themselves because they know what needs to be done. They know the order of the house. They know the values. And by God's grace, we thank God ukuthi uSthandwa ukhona, because Sthandwa doesn't leave all the time. Sthandwa maybe will go visit in June or December. That is the arrangement that we have. So he's always there.
Yeah.
And he's very close to Khao. He's actually close to all of them, but he's more close to Khao because they share a room, which is very messed up. We're trying to get that right. But because Thandwa is there, he models what has been taught. So they look at him for reference.
Sure.
So it's not much of a hassle. But to someone who is battling, I'm not sure how I can help someone like that, because our marriages or our family structures are different, and they are unique.
Yes.
Do you understand? One thing a person must remember, which I feel will be a nugget or whatever, a pearl of wisdom for them to remember in a blended family, is that family is not biology.
Okay.
So family is not biology. Always know that you are in that setup for a reason.
Okay.
It does not have to be blood.
Yeah.
And because it's not blood, don't expect that it will be perfect.
Yeah.
Always know that there will be other people who will impact your children's life. When they come back, do your part and do it to the best of your ability, so that you've got no one to blame when things don't go well. Obviously, we do know, you know, kids as they grow up, they choose what they take. You cannot go with them everywhere.
Yeah.
You cannot be sure which they will apply what you've taught them, but you would have done your part. Iti iBhayibheli, train up a child in the way that you should go. When they are older, they will not depart from it. So you cannot control what happens on the other side, but you can control how you handle. So don't be anxious or stressed about your kids coming back with, allow them to reset, do your best, and let the situation unfold. Every day I pray, I say, God, I do not trust the people that are with our children. I trust the God that we have introduced them to.
Wow. Wow.
That's it.
Sure.
I think we need a break. Yeah?
Actually needed.
Please do like, do comment, do share the video. You are still tuned in to Go Love TV. Call a friend to call a friend to call a friend. Tag somebody. This is good stuff that we are having here. See you right back.
Welcome back to Go Love TV, and we are nearing the end of part 2. And wow, I love having you guys here. We actually love having you guys here. And we've said it all. Some things we did not cover because time, and we cannot finish all the data there is to this topic. But in all of it, what is the most rewarding thing of being in a blended family? The most rewarding, the thing that keeps you guys going. Or no, you know what? Asiyeki lento siqhuba nayo. My Zulu there. Jesus.
Yeah, no, thank you. If I may start there, I would say seeing it work.
Wow.
Waking up every day and, yeah, when you open your eyes in the morning and you look at your wife, she's at peace. You meet the kids in the aisles, in the rooms or wherever, they are smiling, they are greeting you. Hello, Papa. You know, all those small details that confirms that whatever setup you are having here, it's working. Because we need to be honest, blended families are being looked at as living in hell. But there are families that have got a powerful, good structure,
Yeah.
but a firstborn is no longer living at home because it's got a problem with the lastborn, or the thirdborn is controlling, and there's no peace in the home.
Yeah.
So the peace, and yeah, I guess when you see that whatever that you put yourself into or you are putting together is coming together. As I said, you see it in small details.
Yeah.
Someone is full and they are saying, have my food. And you look at them, you don't see the blending anymore. So I guess for me, that's that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you, Mr. Sini?
For me, it's 2 points, but I like Papa's point of seeing it work. That's powerful. Mine is, the first one is the uniqueness of it.
Yeah.
It's a unique setup. You know, it gets people asking questions, and I like that.
Really?
Yeah, like people are asking questions. You see, they're not sure. You know, they're like, "Keba na baba, motomu wani," or you know. And when they find out, others will not see it until maybe they find out, and they're like, "Oh, but you guys are so well blended." You know, it doesn't show. You know, so it is a unique setup, it gives us so much to talk about.
Yeah.
We learn so much every day, and that's the first thing that is so rewarding. And the second thing is knowing that God trusts us to that level.
Wow.
Like Papa said, blended families, people have an assumption or an opinion that these people are living in hell. You know, I mean, there's so many parties there. Kids are not yours. Maybe they disrespect you. You know, those kind of things. We don't have that. We don't have that. But because of the stigma around it, it means that we've been trusted by God.
Yeah.
I myself feel like I'm so blessed to be given extra children to mother.
Yeah.
Because I hate the labor room. Do you understand? So it's like God said, I'm going to give you yours and I'm going to add. You know, so even now when I go everywhere, I say I'm a mother of 5.
Wow.
And I say it with so much passion and with so much pride. You know, I feel that I have been trusted by God, and I love that. I just love it.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes us unique.
And is there like a negative connotation around stepchild, stepdaughter,
Steppy.
yeah? What's your take on that? Just a quick one. And I don't. I
They've not actually mentioned the
I
word.
didn't use
Yeah.
it like purpose, like on purpose, because
Yeah.
I didn't know. Is it because it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
sound.
They've not
Umkhodo on
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know how to put it because it's a vocab that doesn't exist to us. What is step?
Yeah.
Step what?
You stepping.
Stepping up.
Yeah. So for us,
Yeah.
I think loving each other first and respecting each other to that level makes it easy for us to love these kids fairly so, and to overlook the society problems or way of seeing things or viewing things. So for us, step does not exist. Even if it come to be mentioned, we can debate,
Yeah.
and we will enjoy that debate.
Yeah.
What are your basics when you are calling me a step, and why? Because as I mentioned earlier, as soon as they step in my house after visiting, they are my kids. And don't try to tell me other things. We host eConnects every Wednesday, which is a fellowship. Other churches call them cell churches. And there we've got like random strangers coming to our house. And as Mama says, they hardly see the differences. Yeah, no, they hardly see it. Because what we
great.
didn't mention as well is that God blessed us with loving kids.
Yeah.
Our kids are smart. So even how they model this blending themselves, they do it so well that they protect us. We don't have to say, hey, watch out. Don't act like that. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we...
Sure.
And just to add on that, sorry, Daddy, just to add on that, he's actually the one that made it clear from the beginning when we came together, when we were moving in together, and we had that conversation with them. He said, oh, okay, when we were still dating, they were like, Papa's Tandwa, Papa's Tandwa. And then he sat them down and he said, I'm not Papa's Tandwa, I'm Papa. So he killed that label first. And then when we were moving in together, we had the conversation with them. We said, you guys know the situation, right? Like we didn't even have to paint the picture.
Yeah.
We just said, you know the situation, right? And they said yes. And we're like, here, Tandwa's not your stepbrother. Tandiwa is not your stepsister. Khau, vice versa. We said that the word step does not exist in this house.
Yeah.
Like it was clear from the onset. This is not stepdad. This is not stepmom. This is mama, le papa, wuti Tandwa, wuti Khau, Khali, and Tandiu.
Sure.
So there's no
Which do you guys speak?
Josie, household, eh?
It's a rainbow nation.
We speak 3 languages, but mostly isiZulu.
Yeah.
We speak because Papa's got it's funny how Moses was in Egypt to deliver
Yeah.
the Israelites from Egypt. Papa spent 5 years of his early childhood in Limpopo because he was gonna marry me. I mean, hello.
Oh, this is so beautiful, guys. And you've shared, I mean, you guys deserve a reality show. You deserve to be followed by cameras
the
wherever you go. Kwatusini. How do you feel about that, Go Love viewers? Would you watch Kwatusini or not?
Most definitely.
And I believe, I mean, you've been sharing your rituals, your traditions in the household, not in a sense of voodoo, but in a sense of the things, the little
Symbols.
things that you guys do. Do you mind sharing just, snippets of that, of to say, this is what we do as we draw closer to closure?
Do you do it? I do it. Daddy, which one? Okay. We are a very simple family. It just so happens that when we were coming together, it's almost like, the devil was fighting the setup. So in the midst of everything, Papa was in Rustenburg, then he lost the job in Rustenburg, then he had to come in, and now he was living with us full time, and there was just a lot of changes in the 3 years that we were together. But just to give you a brief routine or ritual or whatever that we do in our house, we are simple. We are very simple, and I'm not exaggerating. Our life is centered around church.
Yeah.
Church, church, church. If we are not praying, we are at eConnect. If we are not at eConnect, we are somewhere at Eagles doing something. And our children, it's almost like they all had like a body shock, because now, okay, Khao and Khali were used to that life a little bit, but Usthandwa was not. So him coming into that space, it almost like he had a shock, but now he's used to it. We're teaching them the ways of the Lord. And we're not very religious in our house, but we are spiritual. So they do get their time where they just hang around. We are a very close family. We enjoy playing games. We enjoy, Papa cooks. He cooks like really nice traditional meals.
We live for your WhatsApp statuses, hey? We love the dance. We
dance, we do karaoke. We try to give them a balance of everything. Yeah, because it can't always be church. Just now they get bored and they hate God, and we don't want that. So we don't want that. We give them a balance of everything. The boys are half the time in their room playing games. Khali wants to be part of them because she's the only girl. She sometimes gets lost in there, and we need to pull her out, but it just doesn't work. But it's so interesting to see, Then when she gets bored of them, she's playing with the baby doesn't want to be with her, wants to be with the father, and it's like, who dramatic, who busy, man, who busy, but yeah. So that's just it. Like we really believe we are family orientated, and that's one of the things that attracted me to him so much, that he loves a family setup, and that's what we're trying to instill. Those are the values we're trying to instill in our kids, because we're raising boys. They're going to be husbands to someone one day, so they need to know how a house is ran, and we do it the godly way. I think I've answered.
Thank you so much. I mean, time is the enemy here. In 30 seconds, Mr. Tusid, 30 seconds. What do you say to someone who's like, hey, I'm fed to Minanya Saba, a blended family, I mean, I'm Uncle Shaw. It's giving something.
Giving stress.
I've got a very short answer. Because angilifuni igwala lirane
Yeah.
into enkulu kangaka. Mawusaba. Ungezi. Mawusaba ungezi ngoba akukho lula.
Yeah.
As much as we make it look simple, there is grace upon us to do that. So kufuneka indoda la. Kufuneka umfazi okwazi ukubamba umenze ngasebukhalini. Kufuneka abantu abazimisele ukuphila impilo right. Because once nangaphili right nina, whatever structures are down there will be dismantled. So mawuyigwala hlala kagwala la kufuneka amadoda la kufuneka insizwa zangempela ngesizulu sithi insizwa yalusa insizwa yachatha.
Wow, and that is it from the Tusinis. If uyikwala hlala lapho. Ngezi. This was quite a wonderful interview with a conversation, actually. This was a wonderful conversation with the Tusinis, and there's still more that we would have loved to engage with them with, but time is not on our side. And Juaristo?
Sure. A big thank you to the Tusinis. Wow, you don't know what you guys did. I mean, you've removed scales on someone's eyes. You've enlightened, you've educated. I mean, you've just shed light. So this was so beautiful. Thank you so much. And more grace to your ministry, more grace to your blended family. Let it continue to spin in that blender.
Amen. In the blend.
For the glory of God. I mean, yeah, thank you so much. And to our Go Love family, community, continue to share, continue to subscribe, continue to click on that bell, and thank you so much for staying and watching and commenting. We see your comments. We really appreciate. And if you want to fellowship with the Tusini, if you want to go and visit their church, they are on the other side at Esalen Park. I'll give them just a free airtime to promote their church. Where do people find you?
God's love.
God's love. You heard it yourself.
No, it's our mother church, so we don't mind.
Oh, great. And Juaristo, invite people. Let people come see you. She is a songbird, hey?
Wow.
She sings the heavens down.
Indeed, we are a dancing church. We are a church that loves God and that prioritizes God. We are based at 69 President Park, Republic Road in President Park, rather. And we are inviting you every single Sunday, 8:30 sharp. We are in intercession. And then from there on, we getting on the dancing shoes and we are dancing and praising our Lord. And I hope if you don't have a church, may this be your church. Amen. Thank you so much, and I hope you had a wonderful time with us. From me to Misang Popela Khadiaga Patubazi.
And from me, Sabelo Fakude, it's goodbye.